You have people watching you that you don't even realize are watching you. You have no clue. You would be surprised to hear the people in your world that are following you in ways that you had no idea. It's so inspiring. Like, if I tap into their energy, the way that they see you is like they see you and they feel hope. Hello, beautiful souls. Let's get into today's message. The strong message that came through when I was meditating, it was so clear and it was so impactful. The one message that came through was show them the way. I really do feel as if there is a higher calling for a lot of you that you don't even realize. And I don't feel like maybe you are quite willing to let yourself accept, because maybe you don't see yourself as being up to the challenge or being ready for this next stage or this next calling. But there is a really big purpose for you that is so much bigger than even you will let yourself realize. I really feel like, and this was coming through in the last reading too, that you are intended to show people the way. Show people the way through healing, show the people the way through their fear and stepping into confidence, stepping into abundance, stepping into passion, stepping into their purpose. There really is this big message of you needing to step forward into your purpose, because your purpose is to show other people how to step into their purpose, how to step into their power, how to step into their gifts, how to step into their spirit. We have the Two of Swords, we have the Page of Pentacles, and we have the Nine of Swords. I really do see here that you have gone through such a huge healing journey, and you are aware of the gifts that you have. You are aware of what makes you special. You are aware of your light, but you are not yet aware of how powerful it is. This seems to be a message that keeps coming through. Like, you're still not fully aware. And don't get me wrong, I believe that you are powerful. You just don't know how much. You really don't quite let yourself believe truly how powerful you are. Because maybe some part of you feels like you are not worthy of the power that you inherently hold. And I hope that you know, or at least that this message can validate to you, that you never needed to do anything to be worthy of this light, be worthy of this power, be worthy of this connection. You always had it. There is nothing that you have to do or to achieve in order to prove yourself, in order to achieve this power that you inherently have. You have it inherently. You've had it since birth. You've had it for lives before this one. This is something that you have always had. Show them the way. That is the big message here. And it's something that I want you to kind of carry forward as you go about your day. Show them the way. Show them the way. You don't need to tell people what to do. You don't need to push people to do things that you think that they need to do. You just need to be a living example. We're going to break down each of these cards, the Two of Swords. We're going to break down the limitations that you perceive to have, either consciously or subconsciously, that are stopping you from kind of elevating into the next step, from taking on this next role. We are going to go into the Page of Pentacles as well, and we're going to look at the Nine of Swords. Let's have a look at this Two of Swords first. We are looking at some limiting beliefs here. Universe, please, insight, information. What do you have to share with this beautiful collective about this Two of Swords energy? Thank you. We have Page of Pentacles, Nine of Swords, Four of Swords, the Queen of Cups. I'm getting the feeling that there is still 444 on the timestamps. There is still so much internalized fear that you have just about pursuing your own projects, and that is one of the biggest things that is stopping you from seeing your own light and seeing your own power, is that even the more personal projects in your life, you're struggling to push forward because of this fear. So you feel like you might have this power, but you feel very weak in some instances because there are ways that you are not perfectly moving forward in your projects, moving forward in your career, moving forward in your ambitions, moving forward in your relationships. I'm sorry, just getting another message coming in. Okay. The big calling here is that once you start taking action, that is literally you living out your purpose of showing people the way. What you don't understand is that, like, you don't have to achieve these things and then you're going to become the person that you were destined to be, or that the universe intends for you to be, and to fulfill the role that the universe intends for you. You showing people the way, show them the way. You do that by doing you. That's how you do that. You do you. So understand that you are actually fulfilling this call by working on the things that you need to work on. You overcoming this fear is going to help you fulfill this calling. And know that so you moving forward on your projects, it's actually not just about you. There are so many people around you that are also living in fear, that are also living an unfulfilled purpose, and they need an example to follow. They need you to show them the way. You could be an artist or a creative as well. You could be someone who is pushing forward on some kind of small business. There are people around you that want to do those things, but they have very little self-belief. And your purpose is to move forward with yours to help lead other people into their purpose. So if that is going to be an additional driving force, remember that what you are doing is not selfish. You doing the things that you are doing is not selfish. You are actually helping other people believe in themselves. I'm going to give you an example that came to me into my world. And the reason why I'm being brought this up is because there was an example of someone in my world that I felt was showing me the way. And it gave me so much inspiration. For example, I like to watch a certain genre of content on YouTube that is predominantly filled with women doing commentary on different things. And I saw that there was this new creator that had maybe popped up in the last 3 or so years who was kind of late to the game in terms of that particular genre. She was doing it very uniquely. She was doing it with a lot of light, a lot of compassion, and it's something that I was really, really attracted to. But in terms of the genre had existed for maybe 3 or so years already. So she was kind of like 3 or 4 years later than most of the creators in that genre. And she just massively exceeded the subscriber count for all the big players in that genre. Even though she was late to the game, even though she did things so differently from everyone else, she, after a certain amount of time, fully eclipsed everyone else in that genre. And when that happened, because it happened super recently, what that showed to me was that, like, it doesn't matter when you start. What matters is that you start. So that gives me a lot of inspiration to continue on in my certain pursuits that I have. I don't have to think about whether or not I'm late to the game, or like, is it too late for me to start now? No, it's not. The only way it's going to be too late is if I started later than I started today. And even then I would be fine. That was an example of someone in my world showing me the way and giving and having that impact on me. That is the purpose that you hold in other people's lives. You are going to be that person to someone else. Heck, you might even be that person for me. But that is your purpose. You fulfilling your goals is your purpose. Show them the way. It can be really hard to try and find purpose in pursuing what could, on the surface look like selfish goals, especially when there are so many huge things going on in the world at the moment. You might be thinking, oh, it's very selfish of me to be trying to pursue this goal or that goal, when all of these other things are going on in the world that are arguably more important. But what you have to understand is that what you are doing is important because you are actually having an impact on the people in your community, in your sphere of influence. Show them the way. I'm going to keep saying it through this because it is the integral message that your guides, your ancestors, and your higher self want to impart on you on this day. Show them the way. I really also see that maybe some of you are healers, some of you are teachers. I really get that sense as well. Or you are being called upon to be in the role of teaching. Now, it could be in the most traditional sense, or it could just be that you are kind of teaching people by leading by example. But maybe you don't think of yourself in that way. Maybe you don't think of yourself as someone who has the experience or the knowledge to lead people by example. But that's exactly what a teacher does. A teacher imparts knowledge, however that happens to be. And that's what you are doing. You are imparting knowledge, but you're also imparting energy, wisdom, healing. Like, you are giving so much to people just by showing them the way. Let's get into the Four of Swords and the Queen of Cups. I really do see that so much of what you are showing to people is how you have healed yourself, how you have transformed yourself, how you have alchemized all of your pain. That is a massive part of what you are showing to people. You are showing people that no matter what happens, no matter what devastation comes across your path, it is always within your power to turn things around. It is always within your power to recognize that pain is wisdom, pain is knowledge. We don't walk away from pain knowing nothing. It is so important that you begin to embrace the principle and the philosophy that with pain comes wisdom, with pain comes knowledge. And yes, we can wish we didn't have that pain, but we also know that because we've been through that pain, we understand it. We understand that pain. For example, I didn't understand what it was like to have a family member with cancer. I could not understand. I could not relate to that. I could feel sad for people, but I didn't truly understand what that meant for someone who was having that happen to them. And then that happened to me. And it was painful. But so much wisdom came from that. And when it came to another friend of mine going through that for the first time, I was one of the few people that could talk to them and truly understand their reaction and what they were going through and what they needed in terms of support. Now, that's just one really specific example, but that is the example of how your pain is knowledge. Your pain is wisdom. That is why you have become a teacher. That is why, even without you taking on that role, you do become a teacher. You are showing people by example. Show them the way. Let's have a look at the Page of Pentacles here. I really do feel like there are specific wisdoms that you are being imparted with from the universe. Makes you extremely unique in your circles, and there are people in your circles coming up that are going to need your wisdom, are going to need your support. They already exist as well. We have the Four of Pentacles, we have the Eight of Wands, we have the Chariot, and we have the Eight of Cups. Okay, there are a couple different things really specifically coming through in terms of how what you are going through now is going to teach people how to elevate their life and their happiness in the future. So two main things. So these are the things that you are being taught. This is the wisdom that you are being imparted with so that you are able to show other people how to do this. Number one is going from not a lot to having a lot of abundance. I do see a lot of you having a small business or starting a online business or something like that. Or it definitely seems to be like something you own, something that you have. So you are going from a state of not having much. Maybe you aren't financially doing well. Maybe you have a very small home, and nothing against that. Like, please, I got 1-bedroom apartment, like, and I love it. Like, but you know, absolutely. And I'm not saying that like it's a bad thing. But I'm just saying going from having a little to knowing how to create abundance for yourself. And I really do see this through business. I do see this potentially through some kind of online means as well. But you are going to be an example to people of how you can change your standing, change your financial status, having not that much to having a lot of clients, a lot of customers, a lot of followers, a lot of whatever that happens to be, but an abundance that's really, really strong coming through right now. That is something that you are going to have to go through. And in the process of you doing that, you don't need to even focus on the fact that you are showing other people how to do that. You just need to be a living example of that. And that is actually going to help so many people create that for themselves as well. You have people watching you that you don't even realize are watching you. You have no clue. You would be surprised to hear the people in your world that are following you in ways that you had no idea. That you are influencing in ways that you had no idea. You had absolutely no clue that these people even gave a shit about you. You didn't know. But they're going to, and they do. And they are going to follow in your footsteps. And it might not be exactly the way, but just you being a living example of someone who can change their circumstances. Maybe it's from working in a corporate environment, working how many days a week at a job that they hate with a boss that's really unethical, to starting your own business and having that really, really thrive, and then opening your days up into some different revenue streams and things like that, and following some different passions and having some different projects, and suddenly your life goes from working a job during the week to having all these different projects that are all within your own time, like, and growing in abundance and having a level of freedom that you didn't have in your other role. Like, that's what they see. And they see the way that your skin starts glowing and the way that you are just vibrant, happy, healthy with that process. That is what they see. You are the evidence that they are not stuck in their circumstances, because you are changing your circumstances. You are changing your world. And it's in little ways. It's the ways that you're doing the self-care. It's the way that you're taking care of your mental, your physical, your spiritual. That is what it is. It's the little tiny things, but it's all those little things that matter. This came up in a reading before. It's patience and it's consistency. And you've been working at that. Know that this is part of your purpose. This is part of you being the example to follow. This is you showing them the way. This is not a selfish exercise. What you are doing is not a selfish exercise. You have more people watching you than you realize. You are a role model. Whether you wanted that or not, that's exactly what you are. So that's number one. You're changing your circumstances, and that's number one. That's huge. I really do feel like coming into that as well. You are also a role model of how you view yourself, of self-esteem. I really do feel like people within your kind of closer sphere of influence, but I think this is still people that maybe you aren't aware of, they see where you have been mentally. They see where you have been in your self-belief 3 years ago, 5 years ago. They see where you are with your self-love, your self-belief, and your self-esteem now. They're going to see how you're doing in 6 months. They're watching how you're doing in 12 months, and they're going to see you go up and up and up and up and up. Again, a really strong example of how you are going to show them the way. How you're going to show them not only can they, in a materialistic sense, change their circumstances, but mentally and internally change the way that they feel about themselves. Because there are some people that are in some pretty dark places, and you are the beacon of light for them. You are the hope that they can change how they feel about themselves, because they see you doing the same. I really do see that so many people look to you and be like, I really hope that if I keep doing this, if I keep meditating, and if I keep working on myself, and I keep telling myself that I'm beautiful, and if I keep pushing forward on my projects, that maybe I'll be like them. Maybe I'll transform my life like they are. I'll just keep doing the things that I think that they're doing. And then maybe I can be as happy as they are. It's so inspiring. Like if I tap into their energy, the way that they see you is like they see you and they feel hope. You literally give people hope. Y'all, you're giving me hope. Y'all, I love your energy. I love the energy of the people that look up to you as well. It's so nice to be in. It puts me in such a good mood. All right, let's have a look at the Chariot and have a look at the Cups. This is the other massive thing that you are showing people. So yes, it's changing circumstances. That is in a very materialistic sense, also in a very mental and internal sense, but something else that's really, really big here. You are showing an example of leaving a toxic place and moving forward. You have left toxic places. This could be a workplace, this could be a relationship, this could have been a circle, whether that is friends or family. You left a toxic place. There are people who are in that process, and I mean like they are following in your footsteps because they see the joy that you have come into by staying true to yourself, honoring yourself, and listening to yourself and your intuition and moving forward. They see your journey out of the dark into the light, going from moving away from the things that they had and moving forward onto a new path, carving a new path out for yourself. They see that. And again, I tap into their energy as they watch you. I feel hope. And it's this feeling of like, I know that everything's going to be okay because I can see them and they're better than ever. I want to cry. There are some people that are in such dark places that have moved out of really toxic situations. They are feeling so dark. They're feeling so lost. They're not sure if they've done the right thing, but they see that you did it. And they know if they just hold on, they keep working on themselves, they keep moving forward with that process, that they're going to feel better than ever because you are the example of having to remove yourself from a toxic situation, that for a time you were also feeling lost, destroyed. You had your tower moment and you rebuilt. And they see the way that you are rebuilding. They see the way that you are glowing. They see the way that you're doing even better than you ever did before. And they are in their tower moment, and you are the reason why they will keep going. You are the reason why they don't go back to the toxic situations. They are following your example. You might even know of a specific energy in your life that has actually reached out to you and has told you that you have inspired them in this way. I'm going to give this as an example. Maybe there was a toxic relationship that you escaped from, and you have had to build yourself up after a really long time healing from that relationship. And there is someone else, maybe a close friend in your world, that also maybe 6 months after you did, left a toxic relationship, and they are still in their healing. They are looking at you and being like, look, I'm just 6 months behind them. And look at how amazing they're doing now. I just need to keep holding on. And I'm going to talk to them and I'm going to ask them questions about their healing journey because I know that they've been through it. But even if they're not coming to you, even if they're not asking you, every time they see you, they are reminded they did the right thing because you are clear evidence that you did the right thing for yourself. You listened to yourself. You set boundaries for yourself. You moved away from toxic situations. You moved towards your higher self. You moved towards your passion. You moved towards your fulfillment. And they are following in your footsteps. And even if they aren't where you are yet, they hold on to the hope that they are going to be able to achieve the fulfillment and the healing that you have because they have seen it. They believe it because they know it's real. And why do they know it's real? Because they can see it. They see it in you. You are the proof. You are the evidence that they need to stay strong through their healing journey. So that is the second thing. That is another integral part of the journey that you have had to go through, because these are two of the most strongest things that you will be showing to people at this time. I'm not saying that this is all you're going to teach people, but I'm saying that at this time, these are the two main things that people are really taking from you. And that's one, changing your circumstances, and two, leaving a dark, toxic place and moving into a healed, fulfilled, boundary set place. Y'all, your energy, go you. Honestly, the world needs you. This is just me coming back right now. You know, I black out when the messages are coming through, and then I just take a moment to breathe, and I'm like, whew. Oh, spirit was charging through on that one. Okay. Let's get to this last card. We have the 9 of Swords here. I really feel like we're about to get into the care that you need to be taking care of yourself right now as you move through some darker moments that happen. We can't expect that on our healing journey that it's going to be linear and it's all just going to get better and better and better and better. Some days are still going to be hard. So let's ask for some guidance on those things. Universe, please, insight, information. Whoa, okay. It's all the cards from the top. So first we had the 5 of Cups popping up. Sometimes there will be days where you focus on all the things that you've lost. You will remember all the things that you've lost. You'll remember the relationships that you had to break off. You will remember parts of yourself that you have lost along the way. Or you will have flashbacks and memories of moments where you abandoned yourself. It is important to have these moments to acknowledge these things. If they are resurfacing, it's because there is still a hurt, there is still a trauma, there is still an unresolved feeling there that needs to be felt. Know that, like I said, this needs to be felt, and let yourself feel it. It is so important to sit with yourself and feel it. And if that means that you're spending 2.5 hours on the couch cuddling your teddy bear because you just want to cry, then part of you somewhere down the line really needed to cry and you didn't let yourself in that moment. That feeling needs to be felt. Let it out. Let it exist. Hold yourself while you have it. And the more you let that exist, the more you are releasing it from your body. Let's have a look at these cards. We had 6 of Swords, King of Swords, so many swords coming up in this reading. 6 of Swords, King of Swords, Ace of Swords. We have the 3 of Cups and we have the 9 of Pentacles. Okay. So with these first cards here, with the 6 of Swords, the King of Swords, and the Ace of Swords, the message coming through with this is that you may at times feel so powerless to the situations that happen to you. You may feel as if you are at the mercy of your trauma. But know that you actually hold and always did hold all of the power in this situation. And the fact that you left this situation gives evidence to the fact that you always held the power. What you need to understand is that I know that you might feel at times like you leaving meant that you gave up. You leaving meant that you quit. You leaving meant that you couldn't take it anymore. And at times that can feel like you have been defeated. At times that can feel like I gave up. They won. What you don't understand is that you withdrawing yourself, you withdrawing your power, withdrawing your energy, that puts you in the ultimate place of power. And do you have power over them? Like, technically you do, because they no longer get any of your light. Realize that that's a massive loss. And I'm not saying it like they're lost. Like, I am saying it like that. But do you understand? I don't think that you do. I don't think I'd be doing this reading if you truly understood how powerful you are. But like, let's acknowledge that you are so powerful, even to the point where you don't even acknowledge how powerful you are. And that's a massive loss. But I'll bet that you can go back to those places and those people that you had to withdraw your energy from. I'll bet that you can recall a dozen times where they benefited from you. Whether that is through job opportunities, whether that's through reputation, whether that's through emotional, monetary support, whatever that happens to be, these were people that benefited from you. And you left. You actually held all of the power all along. And I say it with full certainty in my heart. You always had the power, and it is their loss that you left. When you left, you took your power with you. You took your light with you. You took your abundance with you, because your light, your power, your energy was never theirs to take away. They could have taken away a lot of things from you. They could have chipped away at your confidence. They could have chipped away at your self-esteem. They could have chipped away at so many parts of you that made you feel strong. But they could never take your light away. That was always yours, and no one can take that away from you. No one. They might make it hard for you to find sometimes by chipping away at your self-image and your self-esteem, but it's not gone, and it'll always be there for you to reclaim. That's what we were talking about before. It's about you reclaiming yourself. It's about you taking yourself out of the darkness and putting yourself into a place of light and of healing. It's one of the most important things that you are teaching people, because they could never take your power and they could never take your light away. Something that you need to remember in these low moments when you feel like you've had everything taken away from you, it's that you left with the power. You always held the power. And when you left, you took it with you. Hold it. Be with it. Wield it. Own it, babes. Something else that is coming up in terms of lifting yourself up when things get down, when things get dark, is realizing that you're actually not alone. You have people that want to see you. You have people that want to support you. Like, this whole reading has been about people that see your light and just gravitate towards it and learn from you and get inspired by you. When they see you, they get hopeful. They literally feel hope. I feel like you're building, and you're building so much by yourself, and you just have been so hurt by people and by circles and by circumstances and environments that you almost feel like you're on your own and you can't trust anyone. Reach out to your friends, because it is really important for you to realize that you can trust people. There are people in your world that you can trust. There may have been situations previously where maybe people close to you, toxic people close to you, have made you feel like you're not worthy of help, or that the people that love you don't actually love you. Or maybe they made you feel like a burden, so you don't feel like you can reach out to people. But know that, like, people want to celebrate you if you would just reach out to them. So when things get hard, when things get dark, I encourage you to get into the practice of reaching out to your friends, because I'm getting the feeling that when things get really low for you, you isolate. Maybe that might have been a practice when you were around toxic circles, and when you started to get down or emotional, they isolated you. So maybe you're in that practice of isolating yourself when things get hard and feeling like you have no one to turn to. People are there for you. Turn to them, text them, send them a meme, send them a reel. Do something so that you can start to acclimate yourself to interacting with people again, because that is going to be a huge support to you. I'm getting the feeling there are actually people really close to you in your life that have been close to you in your life for a really, really long time that maybe you feel like a burden to, that actually just want to hear from you more, would love to hear from you more than once a fortnight, would love to hear from you every 3 days or so, even if it's just a meme. They want to hear from you. They want to spend time with you. They want to celebrate you. They actually want to hear how you're doing. They want to know if you're okay or if you're not. Let's get into the oracle cards. Universe, please, insight, information. What does this beautiful collective need to hear on this day? If you've made it to this part of the reading, if it would mean so much to me if you would subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. That'd be awesome. That'd be awesome. We have 27, harmony. May sweet and soft things find you, ease in a child's softness. A real invitation here to get in touch with your inner child. Be really gentle with yourself. And start to support yourself in the way that you would be like supporting your inner child. Like if your inner child came up to you and was like, I want to dance. You all better go play with your inner child and go have a dance, you know? Whatever that happens to be for you. Your inner child is... Your inner child is such a representation of yourself. And for a long time, in many different instances, your inner child has been alone. It's time to show them that they're not alone. Take them out to see their friends. Arrange for play dates. A really big thing here. Yes, you need to go see your friends. You don't even need to see your friends. This could be FaceTimes. This could be just messaging. I really get the feeling like you're just so used to isolating yourself. It's not necessary, and it is not going to help you fulfill your purpose. So many people want to talk to you. So many people wish that you would like reach out to them first. Think about that. We have protection, call back your power, cut the cords, soul retrieval. You are being protected. I feel there is so much fear within you that wants to close yourself off from people and the ways that they could potentially hurt you, because you know how terrible some people can be. You really know the depths to which people can be awful. You had to experience that. And it has made you so afraid. It has made you build walls around yourself that are higher than they need to be. And as much as they are keeping everyone else out, they are keeping you away from everyone too. You are already being protected. You don't need to go overboard on it. It's already there. It's already in place. But you need to let yourself live as well. You need to let your inner child play with their friends. Let's get into the music oracle as well. I've really been enjoying getting back into these. We have Bruce Springsteen. There will always be magic, even on your darkest nights. May your mistakes, like your sins, be your own. Follow the river, but keep your eyes on the sea. I would love to hear what you took away from this card. I am going to let that be up to your interpretation, but I look forward to reading your interpretations in the comments down below. Thank you so much for joining me in this reading. You all are constantly inspiring me. I am so grateful and honored to be your messenger. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next reading.